Hey girl, you up? Always is the answer. Dating over 40 plus, what is going on? We don't know. Hey girl, you up? I think dating in the gay world can possibly be just as much of a drag. Today's episode we're calling Who's Your Zaddy? You're going to want to swipe right on today's guest, Christopher. Fabulous, handsome, successful, and also looking for love on the apps. Welcome to Hey Girl, You Are.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited to have you. Now, why are you single?
Well, I've been trying, to be honest. I've been matching on Tinder, Hinge, or Facebook dating, which I wouldn't recommend. But lots of people just do not follow through. I think the older people get, the more set in their ways they are. Their routines, their work, their gym, cooking, cleaning, all of that describes me too. It's difficult for me to get myself out of my routines and meet someone as well. But I have seen a significant difference since the pandemic in how people match on apps, whether or not they'll meet up at all. The intention is still there. Yeah. But I wouldn't say that's all there is, but it's getting pretty close. And I hate it. But people match, I've had guys match with me on Hinge. Yeah. And then match with me on Tinder too.
The same person.
The same person.
Okay, see? Totally same world. I've done the same thing. One day I said to him, like, we have matched before. And he's like, oh, what happened? I said, it fizzled. Then he actually goes to me, oh, we should go on a date this time. And I said, over to you. And it's fizzled again. Is that, so it's the same for you, basically?
Pretty much, yes. I would love to find someone that follows through, but I have to be reflective enough to say that I probably have been the man who doesn't follow through at times. Well, I mean, one time I was going to go on a date with this guy at the Irvine Spectrum because he lived outside of West Hollywood. People who live outside of West Hollywood are my favorite.
Really?
Yes, they are. Why? I can't believe I'm going to say this. No, that's embarrassing. It sounds so pejorative in terms of WeHo because I love WeHo. It's beautiful, it's safe, it's fun.
Well, two things can be true.
I may be one of the first people to admit this out loud about West Hollywood. Living in West Hollywood, that is. Because people know West Hollywood is kind of debauchery central, glossy, colorful. People observe each other. They know that they are walking by each other. Some say hello. Some might develop kind of a phatic connection where they know each other's names and stuff. But more so and more often, West Hollywood, my part of West Hollywood anyway, has become a place where people really avoid each other a lot. They know about each other. It's kind of like, it's almost undescribable, but it's kind of like we're checking each other out from one side of palm to the other or something, but we want to do it invisibly without the other person seeing it. And that really is the dynamic in my neighborhood right now, and it drives me fucking insane because I really wish that people were more amenable to contact and connection there than they are.
Is everyone just too cool? I don't know. It's a vibe that's actually not helping people to connect.
Not at all.
It's not helping finding love. It is not helping people just have wonderful, soft, sweet relationships.
It's absolutely in direct opposition of those things.
Right. When I came to Los Angeles, I'm Swedish born and raised, and I lived in like Ireland, I lived in the UK, and I lived in France, and I had a stint in DC. Back then, I only picked up people in the wild. I was not looking for any husband of any kind, barely a long-term relationship. There was no plan. Yeah. And I definitely had no flags. Like, if you were hot and I liked you, off we went. My dating life and its heart and its pulse and its intention changed every decade, I felt like. Yeah. Is that in your world too, or?
Well, I moved here when I was 36. Okay. And I was ready to start getting serious then.
Oh, you were?
You know? And I fell in love actually within 6 months of moving here. Yeah.
What happened?
Well, it was a wonderful, and he and I are still friends. In fact, I just picked him up from the airport last night. We're still friends. It took a long time for us to be able to be friends the way we are. Oh my God.
Who reached out to whom to eventually make that happen?
He reached out to me, and he's a brilliant hairstylist who cuts my hair for free.
That helps.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, fine. So basically, if you want to be friends with your ex needs potentially a skill.
Yes.
So you can't live without.
No.
I think like I've literally dated all over the rainbow as for race. Like I have no typical man apart from this is a lie. I'm very, very, very attracted to black men, always have. and the father of my children is black. I definitely have like a thing. Like,
my
as in, like,
thing
I
is
enjoy
Latinos.
Oh, yours is
Exactly
Latinos.
like what you're just describing yourself in terms of your type. My type is pretty specific. It's someone a little younger, but not a lot younger, shorter, and from south of the border, whether it's Colombia, Venezuela, Mexico.
Wait a minute. So what about younger? Why can't you date older?
A little, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's just, you know what?
Why?
That's a very brief and wonderful question. And I almost feel like I've never asked myself that right now. So I should.
I have been in 3 long relationships in my life. They've always been 2 or 3 years younger. Always. This time around, Christopher, I'm like trying to flip the script a hair. So I changed my little app age on all the apps across the board to like 46, which is 2 years younger than I am because I'm 48. But I'm going up to like 56. Like I'm gonna I think I need to open up more to maybe like get it right this time.
I mean, I guess I could see myself being with a man who's 56. I take the assertive role in all of my relationships. I'm a top, but that doesn't automatically preclude being with someone older.
Okay, question for dummies. A top. Is it, so it's not just sexual, it's also in the relationship that you take charge? So it's sexually and in the relationship?
That's a really good and interesting question. Some would say no. Those roles purely are sexual in terms of who does what.
Right.
And the other aspects of that you just described are much more interchangeable. Yeah.
Like you can be a top, but it doesn't mean necessarily in a relationship.
But I am.
But you are.
I am a top.
And a top.
Yes, that's correct.
My world, when I go younger, they are not always ready, like for what I want, because they're a little younger. Is it the same in the gay world?
The same things that you just said about experience apply. Absolutely.
Right. So I'm giving you another reason to raise your age.
I agree.
Because you can get now someone who's like super banana, super in bed.
Exactly.
It's a win-win. Okay. So what apps are you on, Christopher?
Hinge, Tinder, Bumble, although I never go on Bumble. It's not.
I love Bumble.
Really?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Then I should give it another try. It's on my phone and I have a profile on it. It's just,
for me, it's my better app. I mean, I'm on Tinder. My 3,000.
Tinder is the most superficial.
It's the
swipe
worst.
and match place.
We like Tinder. We like you as a corporation. Please don't sue us.
Yeah.
But the people on there, it's a rough one.
Yeah.
I'm about to delete it.
So Hinge, Tinder, Bumble, and Grindr.
Yeah.
And after saying Grindr, a lot of gay guys would say that Grindr is not a place to meet for love.
Okay.
You're not going to meet a boyfriend there. It is just for sex right now, and that's it. And my response to that is I had my first real amazing relationship that I fell head over heels in love with someone. And then after I met them on Grindr, 6 months later, I took them to Waikiki for their 30th birthday.
That is so cute.
Yeah. Gays watching this, there are some guys on Grindr who are at least open to going on dates and finding a relationship. It has happened for me. I fell in love to the point where my feet couldn't even touch the ground from Grindr. So don't fully count it out.
What are you looking for though? Do you put long-term relationship? Like what do you put?
In the profile saying I'm looking for NSA, looking for friends. By the way,
I hate that.
Ain't no one looking for friends on Grindr. They're full of shit.
They are full of shit.
Oh, God.
Hey, I see it on Raya too. New friends. Really, Brew? You're like 52 years old. You need new friends?
I mean, I'll put looking for a relationship and maybe it'll make a difference. Maybe it won't. I mean, half the time people don't even read profiles before they message me.
True.
You know?
But at least like long-term, short-term.
They're almost irrelevant, to be honest.
Are they though? Because in my,
it's because of what people bother to even read or look at before they message each other. And it's like those categories may be there in someone's profile, but for most of us, we barely even see it, as opposed to what the pictures are, whether or not we're attracted to someone and what is going to happen.
Do gays put ENM, like ethical non-monogamy, in their profile? I get a lot of those fuckers.
I do not know why, but there's something about straight men. They are just innately averted from monogamy or from commitment, I should say. There's something built into straight men where I've known a lot of them. In fact, I get along better as friends with straight men than I do with gay men.
We have an uphill battle as straight women to find a man who's going to be faithful.
I mean, of course.
Accept it.
Of course.
Of course. This is harsh.
But that, I mean, at the same time, that doesn't mean that all of them are that way.
I think my last relationship ending in cheating have now put my spidey senses up. I don't want him to have changed me, but I am now at least aware that it can happen.
It's because when your entire perception of a relationship, a person, or a situation is shattered, and you realize that it's like you never knew what you thought you knew. It must just change the way you feel about your own judgment, right?
Yes, it did.
I mean, okay, I think that there is a significant difference, and this is just my opinion, that say a guy comes to you, he was on a business trip, he says, we need to talk. It happened. I can't believe it happened. I know that you're going to be furious about it. This is what happened, and we can handle this however you want because it was my mistake. If a man comes to you and he cheated and he comes to you and that's how he owns up to it, as opposed to you finding out that he is got a separate Facebook or Instagram profile where he's messaging 8, 10 girls at once.
Well, he had an affair for 10 months.
That's the type where it's like,
I found his ex profile. It's like sex fishing, hundreds of women just like, you look hot, I want to fuck you. Like,
and other relationships had also ended in cheating. So with him, it was an addiction.
Can't trust him ever another day in your life. Once you see a man and that's what you stumble upon, might as well walk away. I'm sure plenty of people don't, but good for you.
I did.
Good for you. It's a serious lapse in judgment.
Yeah, it's not a mistake. You have to sit down with this person. You have to take off your clothes. You have to like lay down on a bed. Those are not mistakes. Those are decisions. Yeah. And that's the thing that on my D-Day, when I found out, I was like, you have made thousands of decisions. And he also was like, threw it up to the gods almost. That's like, I don't know. And I don't know. It's like, but you do know. Yeah. So I don't want to make this episode about cheating, so I'm going to move on because I'm sorry, fuck you, dude. But I want to make sure that my intention on dating is clear. Like, I do not want E&M. I don't want any of that stuff. I'm looking for long-term relationships. I was curious if you do the same or if you're more like loose.
Well, in my opinion, I think that should be assumed with you. I think anyone who meets you, probably it would be fair to know that you would date with intention. That's my impression of you right now.
Good. Oh, I have a good one. Sex, first days, second days, third days, doesn't matter. Gay community, do we care?
Most gays in Los Angeles are a little bit more conservative in those ways, in terms of whether or not they're in open relationships or whether or not they have sex on the first date. I would say the vast majority of gay guys in West Hollywood or other parts of Los Angeles would not have sex on the first date.
Have you had any first date crazy stories? Pick a favorite. I'm taking Christopher's laugh as there are many.
I've had a few bad ones that were more recent.
What happened?
Well, I met a guy on Grindr. Mm-hmm. We exchanged messages. Where did he live? He's somewhere east of West Hollywood, but in LA. That's all I know. Anyway, he brought his fucking mother along with him.
He didn't know.
Unannounced on the first date.
No. Get out. What did you do?
I mean, I don't know what the look on my face was. I know that what I was feeling was, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my God.
And I went with it as best as I could, because think about it, well, when you're in a situation like that where that's sprung on you, I mean, what are you going to do? This is absolutely ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I don't ever want to see you again. Go away. I wasn't going to be like that.
It's not who you are.
No.
But that is what was going through your mind, for sure.
Yeah. And I made the best of it. I made the best of it, you know. I didn't even bother telling him that we're not going to do anything. For whatever reason, I think that they understood. I almost feel bad for him, because if he's got a mother that's that codependent,
it's just not gonna work out.
And I'm very close to both my parents because they're both incredible, amazing, altruistic, selfless people that I admire very much.
You come across very grounded. I also had a very good childhood, great parents, like very solid background. And I think it is such a gift. I admire people who put themselves together, having grown up in a much more rough circumstance. My mother was not in a perfect household, but she was like never for my kids. I am grateful for that, because as relationships have failed, not necessarily dramatically, but I've always had a good self-worth, and I think it came from them.
Yeah.
You know, and that is a gift. So again, I'm so impressed by people that had to find it on their own. That to me is impressive.
Okay, moving on. How big is your roster?
I would say 20, 40, 50 that I've matched with, that I've had some chats with.
Do you keep them all on your roster or do you clean them out at some point?
I clean them out if they don't respond. Because
Me too.
lots of people match.
Yep.
And I'll say hello if I think someone's very attractive.
Yep.
And sometimes people just don't feel like responding.
I do the exact same thing, Christopher, now. So in the beginning, when I started dating, super cute and innocent, I kind of even spent energy on it, you know, and then they wouldn't respond, right? And I do the same thing. I match with someone, and then once I've actually matched, I look and I go, oh no. And then and that happens. So now I do the same thing. I conserve energy. If I match and I like them, I just go, hi, Joseph, or hi, Yuri, or, you know, hi, Joanne. Hi. That's all I get. Because to your point, if they reply back, I know now they've checked me, and now we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
What about how much talking do you do prior to meeting up?
In my experience, the more conversation that there is to be had with someone on Hinge or on Tinder, the more we're having a thorough conversation that's not just about a bunch of pleasant, you know, polite BS, the more likely there is for there to be a date, and the more likely that date might go well.
Oh, so you like the nano-shift that happens prior dating and you keep it going for a little bit?
I'm willing, yeah. I'm willing to keep it going for a couple weeks even.
We had these relationship experts on here.
Orna and Matthew Walters, who said,
messaging or texting, that's just for making plans and, you know, logistics and da-da-da, because that's not actually talking. This is talking.
Yeah.
So their advice to me was like, or to the viewers and everybody who, I mean, good luck to us, is that get to meet the person as fast as you can.
I disagree.
That's what I'm saying. You actually disagree. You
Yes,
like
I
the build-up.
do.
Interesting, because I hate the build-up. If I like you, I just go, let's meet.
I think the build-up and a lot of conversation, maybe sex chat too, is what leads up to a good first date. Because look, if two people sit down, they don't know each other worth a damn. Oh my God. I have had so many dates like that where, you know, you give it a courtesy hour when it's not a connection or whatever.
Yep.
And then you say, well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
But look, if you've got chat and you've gotten to know someone and you've talked about sex, you've flirted, you've maybe exchanged some pictures and stuff like that. You go and you sit down with someone and there's so much more of a potential for an erotic connection there, as opposed to two people who are really just kind of, they're two white picket fences sitting across from each other at a table. And it's just, I'm proper, I'm marryable, I am dateable. There's something that's so forced.
Sure. It's just listen, I like what you're doing, but it is a production. So you just have to have the energy to be a Christopher.
I mean, the way people are in terms of being flaky, it's like the more time I invest in someone that I may go out to dinner with, the more likely it is to happen.
You're a good person, you're yummy, you're a catch. I feel like you should be snatched up in a jiffy. Okay, so we have a little game, Christopher, that we call Regret Roulette. I think with our decades of dating and love, that we are not in shortage of regrets.
Agreed.
So, you spin the wheel, it lands on something, you spill. So it's a lose-lose for you, we always say. We have ghosting, cheating, what the fuck, swipe regret, first date, worst text, nudes, we got it all. Here we go.
First date, let's see. A first date that I regret ever having. Well, I mean, okay, this is a bit longer of a story, but I went on a date with this guy who was very handsome in his pictures, and he looked the same in real life. Dark features, beautiful eyes, very good jawline, all that kind of stuff. But there was something about him that was pretty cold when we were dating. He was interested, but he was not very verbal. And there was just something excessively placid about him. And that's why I decided not to do it again. And he texted me wanting to meet up again. And I was just like, I don't know what those still waters are about, but something feels a little off about it.
Trust your instinct.
You know, I did. I wish that I had trusted them more. So I ended up with someone who turned into a stalker. I ended up with someone where one time I was leaving Pavilions in West Hollywood with my pup doing a grocery walk. And I got a message on Grindr. And I'm like, okay, who's this? So I looked, and this is going to freak you out a little bit. And it was a zoomed in, grainy picture of me from behind carrying groceries. and a blank profile messaged it to me saying, "Looking good today."
That is freaky. I got goosebumps.
I know.
So he had your number, and he still went through all that.
He still went through Grindr with a blank anonymous profile. When I tell you this, am I 100% sure that it was him? It's one of those things where you know.
You
know. Exactly.
You just
But
know.
could I have proven it to the cops or something like that? No. I mean, that being said, it didn't really threaten me physically because I know when push comes to shove, if I had to, I'd whoop his ass.
That's terrifying.
Yes, I have absolutely learned in my own experiences that you have to be careful of who you go on dates with.
Yeah. My friend Brooke, I call her my FBI. So I will send like a name and a phone number. And then she will be like, yes, I can confirm he works at US Bank. He does live in Echo Park. Yes, he is divorced. And I kind of like, okay, so 3 for 3. A stalker is different though. That you can't suss out.
And he did indeed do some other stuff. The behavior continued until I made it clear that I would
get aggressive.
Knock him out if he didn't stop doing it. I had to get aggressive. And when I showed him on no uncertain terms that if he continued this, he'd get punched in the face, and he backed off and behavior stopped.
Oh my God.
When I understood Asperger's, that's how I got closer to getting rid of him. They get stuck in a certain pattern of behavior that they can't get themselves out of. And that's a common thing with someone who's Asperger's. And I figured it out that that's what I was dealing with.
Sarah, I don't know if
me.
Yeah.
Remember I had to call somebody's parents?
Oh, yes.
He turned out to have Adderall-induced psychosis.
Oh my God.
Having a psychotic break.
Yes.
And I had to call him, never met his parents. I had to call his parents and say, this is very strange. But I've been on dates with your son, and something's wrong. You need to, he's having some type of mental breakdown. And then his dad told me this has happened many times.
Okay.
And we will make sure he never bothers you again.
Same thing happened to me.
Same thing happened to me.
What happened to you?
I had to call the family and the sister and say, he's calling me literally every minute until my voicemail is full. And living under the bridge by my mom's house, and it's psychotic.
So it's more common than we think.
Oh,
that's a 3 for 3 here. Okay, so I feel I thought I was unlucky now, but I feel now rather lucky, everybody. Thank you. Okay, I have to switch to another topic with you. So my friend started dating this guy who is bisexual, but now she's starting to think that he might be more gay than bi. How can she get to the root of that? What would you tell her?
If that's her instinct, then it's probably true, because with bisexual guys, it's often the case. It can be
Is it really?
one says, a layover on the way to gay town. That's how bisexuality in men has been described. And obviously it's not always the case, but it's commonly so. That
interesting.
Whether or not it's repression, whether or not they don't feel comfortable fully coming out yet, so they decide to say that they're bisexual, kind of as a safe form of coming out. I don't know, but for whatever reason, with heterosexual men or bisexual men, when they say that, there is always a chance that they really are gay, and they either haven't come to terms with it yet or don't know it yet.
Oh,
yes.
So a layover to gay town. Well, I can tell you about my layover. So my first husband, we met in film school, and we got married quickly because at the time he needed papers to stay in London. He was American.
Okay.
But we were in love and we were dating, and I really loved him. He loved me too. So we get married in London. Upon graduation, I wanted to come to the United States, so it benefited everybody. But we were together, so it was a real marriage, just a little sped up. We get to LA and we drift apart. It's not working out. So I break up with him. He's very upset, and he decides to go back to Texas. It didn't end roughly, but I broke his heart for sure, and I felt very bad about it. Now, 2 years later, he calls me and he's like, Anna, you're the last person I'm calling, but I want you to know that I'm gay. And I was like, what? What? He's like, are you mad? I said, I am not. I'm not mad at all. You actually make me feel better about what I did to you, because I've had so much guilt. And if anything, I said, I have so many questions. And we are now besties. We're super close. He's visiting me in LA, and I love him. When I asked him what happened, I said, but David, we had sex, we were in love. He was like, you know what? He goes, I wasn't quite sure of who I was, but I met you and you were so charismatic. and I just fell in love. That's it. I fell in love with you, not like other women.
And that's what a lot of bisexual people will say. They'll claim sapiosexualism as part of who they are. It's very common.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah.
It shocked me that he thought I'd be mad. You know?
Yeah.
But he did. Bless his heart. I was the last call.
I'm sure you were glad you got it.
I did.
Yeah.
You know, and now he's my friend.
Fact.
Now, talking about facts, we have something on this show called Facts and Feelings. So we throw out these little fun facts, and I want your opinion on it, Christopher, okay? According to Grindr, the most popular tags that were searched in 2024 were, number 5 was feet, number 4 was dom, number 3 was BB, number 2 was trans, and the number 1 search tag was hung.
Well, I think the first one is understandable. We don't need to hash that one out.
We're good.
Yeah, but you know something that's so weird? So many people are into feet that I can't help but start wondering whether or not it's even a fetish anymore. Everywhere I look, I'll look on Instagram on an average day, and I see all of it plastered, so many fetish photos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. There's obviously nothing wrong with it, but I'm not surprised whatsoever that one of them in there is
How many
feet.
millions do you need to get to for it not being a fetish anymore? So on the apps, we talk a lot about green flags, red flags. Some guys are more pink flag than red, and others exhibit the whole crayon box of flags on their first date. It's time for flagged or bagged.
All right.
Hey.
All right, let's do it.
I'm just going to read some statements. You're just going to raise a flag, and if you have a comment on it, go ahead.
Okay.
Someone says they're on the DL on their profile.
I wouldn't even be going on a date with someone who says that for any reason whatsoever.
Right?
Hell no. No. Whether they have a wife, whether or not they have a husband. God protect me from the day where I end up on a date with someone who has a husband and hasn't told me.
And so far, has that happened? No.
No.
Someone who lies about their age on their dating profile.
I'm 40 with 2 additional years of experience sometimes. All
I
right.
like it. So basically, you lie about your age. You put 40, but you're 42.
No, if I'm on a date and I'm having a conversation that's, you know, authentic and in person, I'll say I'm 42. Have I ever put 40 in my dating in a profile like Grindr for the heck of it? Yes, all right, I have.
Oh, you
I'll
cannot
admit
raise a flag, Christopher. Someone who only wants to swap nudes. Red flag for Christopher. Go.
I think it's important to swap some pictures and stuff like that in order for the date to actually go somewhere and for there to be some erotic connection. Hear me out.
Yeah.
If you have not exchanged any photos whatsoever and you're going about it in like a utterly pragmatic and sheerly romantic way, a cake's got to have some frosting. It's not just cake. There's more likely to be a spark.
Yeah.
With pictures being exchanged before a date.
I do most of the pics after the first date. So yeah, you are on the date in reverse. But I know that you've talked a lot about it.
You have to be careful though. You have to be very careful though. One time I was at High Top for happy hour. Not happy hour, it was nighttime, something like 10 o'clock. This 31 pictures go circulating around. This little Debbie at High Tops walked up to me with his phone. Is this you? It was my fucking dick pic on his phone.
No.
And I was just like, my skin started to crawl and I was furious, but I didn't want to act furious in public. And I was just like,
how do they know it's your dick, Christopher?
they asked me. I said, yeah, it's mine. And I was like, where did that come from? And he wouldn't answer. He kind of sauntered away because I started looking pissed.
Someone who can't stand Madonna.
She just became someone who's so completely unrelatable. Eventually, think about it. She went from being this daring, unapologetic woman to someone who is just so stuffy.
I agree. A man who is a go-go dancer several nights a week.
Right.
Someone who only wants to have sex on poppers.
I hate them.
And last one, a guy who lives outside of the neighborhood.
I'm waving this one once, twice, 3 times.
You love it.
I would prefer it.
Okay, it's gay, straight, bi, plus. We are all running into horrific bios, or maybe not horrific for you. Welcome to Biohazard. These are short, sweet bios. Okay, here we go. First one. Where Anne hath a will, Anne Hathaway.
It's someone who's watched The Devil Wears Prada too many times.
2 truths and a lie. I live in a van. I live in a van. I don't live in a van.
That's someone who really either can't think of anything to say or doesn't want to. He's annoyed by the question itself.
Yeah, I think we got the truth. He
Yeah.
does live in a van. A bottom who doesn't douche looking for a top.
They need to go to hell and never say anything ever again. Oh my God. What?
No, hard. This is why it's a biohazard.
Yes, I agree.
Would anyone swipe on this, do you think? You have to be mad.
Definitely
Okay.
not. Okay.
Remember back in the 80s where there were like little dating tapes, VHS tapes?
Hi, I'm Maurice. I'm an executive by day and a wild man by night.
Hi, my name is Phil. Most of my friends call me Big Phil.
Perhaps even a nice bath with some champagne and candles.
Hi, Mom.
I do fashion photography.
What would you date if you look into this camera
Whoa.
and you do a little baby bio?
Hey, my name is Chris. I live in West Hollywood. I am looking for dates. I'm dating with intention. If marriage happens, it does. If it doesn't, oh well. That's not the end goal for me as opposed to a serious monogamous and committed relationship.
I know that I've been so comfortable with Christopher here. I wish I batted for his team or he batted for mine because this feels like a wonderful first date. Also in dating, though, there are, of course, a billion terminologies these days. It's time for terms of endearment, everybody. Like, again, as I came off fresh into the single boat and clearly drifting across the oceans.
I'm at the age where I'm on Urban Dictionary taking a look and seeing what things mean too.
That's what I'm saying.
For
I
sure.
didn't know. There was like, I knew the basics like breadcrumbing and ghosting.
Yeah.
But after that, it's just been like, there's hundreds. I'm going to read you 3 of them and you might know what they are. And if not, you just take a guess and I'll tell you what they mean. Okay? Cloaking.
No idea.
When someone not only ghosts you, but also blocks and removes all traces of themselves. Social media, dating apps, phones, etc.
I see. I mean, there was one boy who did that to me. So I have been cloaked, apparently, by someone I took to the ER for a panic attack. Yes.
Okay. Mosting.
Having your fun with someone when that's all their worth, and then completely getting rid of them because there's absolutely no chance for anything else.
Very close. Love bombing someone early on, making them feel special, then ghosting them suddenly. Mosting.
I have a feeling straight men are a little more likely to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's not. Maybe there's some people who aren't going to be very happy with hearing me say that, but.
I mean, it happens to us for sure. Like the whole dating gang here.
There's just so many things for us that are right on the table where there's less mystery and more synergy with us.
Yeah.
And then part of it's because we embrace hookup culture and it uncomplicates it. It makes some things more complicated and then it uncomplicates other things.
Yeah.
Hookup culture will definitely keep you like, I may very well have hooked up with a clinical narcissist or two in my life without even knowing it, without having to get to know them or go to dinner with them or be love bombed.
Right.
You know?
Women might wait second, third, fourth, fifth date. We have this date counselor that we do. So men have to work harder for it. So that's when they love bomb you to secure
Keyword have to.
They kind of have to.
Yes.
I think they think they have to because they're hunting the prize.
I think we should talk about why they have to. I mean, are we living in a society where promiscuous women are inevitably judged for their behavior?
Yes.
Therefore, they cannot go and be that way. Thus, men have to.
Sarah and I have talked about a lot, like we are in our latter 40s. We're very comfortable with our sexuality.
Yeah.
And I think women do get judged. So then we don't have sex because then we're a slut. So then we pretend we don't want to have sex, or we hold out, I should say. But then they keep kind of love bombing. Like they'll hit you with like future plans. And then as women, we start building our castles, right? Then we have sex with them. Now they get what they wanted. And all those castles, it's like you unplug the air in the back and just like a party castle for kids. It just went. I mean, Sarah and I, we're hanging in there, mostly thanks to alcohol. Okay, last one, tin-stagramming.
When people are in each other's inboxes, swapping pics, becoming romantic, or courting each other for the purposes of dating or sex.
No, it's when you match with someone on Tinder or Grindr, and then immediately they message you on Instagram.
I don't see anything wrong with it. Instagram is a very common way for people to make sure they're not dealing with a fake profile.
I used to think that was weird. I mean, again, when I was at my embryo level of dating. Now I'm like, I don't mind it. I like it. I look them up too. I love that on Raya that I can, if I match on Raya with someone, you have to put your Instagram handle.
Really?
So now I can click on it. There are a lot of fake pictures out there. Is it the same in your world of dating?
Oh yeah, fake profiles have happened to me, of course.
But like really different looking. You show up and you're like, oh shit.
Oh,
You weigh like 100 more pounds.
I see what you're talking about.
Because that's a thing for straight dating. I have met men who do not look even close. Like as in bald or 10 years older. And I know men have told me the same.
Yeah, well, and they've got insecurities about their looks, basically, and that's how it manifests. No.
Have you gone on a date with someone where that...
Not here.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Gay men are straight up. Okay, Christopher, we're actually now getting to the very end. There are similarities and dissimilarities. Ultimately, you and I just want to find lasting love.
Yep. Date with intention. You're looking for love. You're looking for the one, but you're having fun along the way. And in my mind, those two things can easily be on the same plate. And there's no rules. Why not?
Agreed. All our guests are a perfect 10. You for sure have not disappointed today, Christopher. It's been so much fun. I'm so happy we made this connection.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, perfect 10 questions for a perfect 10. What is the most romantic gesture someone has ever done for you?
When I took my ex to Waikiki, it was for his 30th birthday. And while we were shopping at a shopping center called Ala Moana on Oahu, he went away for about half an hour, 45 minutes. He saw me, I guess, in Glendale, I think at the Americana, looking at these silver bracelets. And then he came back with a small David Yurman bag, and he had bought it for me. And I knew he wasn't making a lot of money yet. And I knew that at that time he had spent every dollar he had. And I almost asked him to take it back. And that's probably the most romantic gesture I've ever experienced.
That is super romantic. Okay, what is the best piece of dating or love advice you have ever received?
Be careful, not everyone is as they seem.
What is the quality you most deplore in a partner?
Lack of a desire to communicate.
What turns you on?
What turns me on? Thighs.
What is the most unusual place you've ever had sex?
I'm going to go with a Nordstrom fitting room.
Oh, good one. Good lighting, I think. Better lighting. You know?
Yes. No, it was very good lighting.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is a toxic trait you secretly enjoy?
When someone's a diva, even if it pisses me off and I'm sitting and looking at my phone, I'm like, it still turns me on.
Christopher, if I bump into you in a year from now, what personal goal would we be celebrating?
I would either be a pundit in local or national news talking about current events and issues that people tune in and they need to know about, or I'd be further along in my career as an actor.
Love. We're going to toast to either one. Thank you, Christopher. Christopher and I are making decisions on the daily, meaning that we're swiping left, we're swiping right. Is it straight? No, that road is still curvy, but you know what? We have a couple more friends now on our Yellow Brick Road. Thank you so much for listening to Hey Grow You Up, and check us out next week. Christopher, thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
I had a blast, and you know, who's your Zaddy? Christopher. That's the answer. Next up on Hey Grow You Up, Peter Pan. Straight men in their 40s, never married, no kids. The true Lost Boys.